Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be doing a beginner level beach shoreline in a really light pastel-y pink tone. So this is a 5x7 palette, and it's a palette or 5x7 board, canvas board by Loft. I got a bulk pack at Michael's. They're super affordable and perfect for oil paints. So the base that I have is burnt umber. I've just painted a light wash of that just to kind of have a base, and then I'm mixing up all of my colors here on the right. And as you can see, I have a light blue, a light pink, and a light orangey kind of yellow. So I'm just mixing up all of my colors. I've sped up this entire video, but the entire thing took me about 45 minutes, and I thought it came out really well. It's definitely something that anyone can do. I am using a palette knife, a small palette knife, to kind of mix up all of the shades beforehand, so that the painting process is just that much quicker. I definitely recommend doing this, and I think the benefit of mixing your paints before you start is that you can kind of see how everything looks together on the palette, because it's a lot easier to change when it's on the palette versus when it's actually on your painting. So these paints I think they're all Loft. I got them in a set, just all of the basic colors, and then I just mix to get the exact shade that I want. I definitely believe that if you learn how to mix your colors, there's no need to buy 100 different shades. You can just buy your basic white, red, blue, and yellow and kind of mix any color that you want. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. And you will see how I use all of these shades throughout the painting. And here I have flipped the palette why do I keep calling it a palette? I have flipped my panel just to get a different orientation, and then with my palette knife and that darker tan color, just doing a really rough outline of where my composition is going to go. And then I have a small angular brush that I'm using here, but you can actually use a larger brush. That might be a little bit easier to kind of just start blocking in those colors. And then right there you'll see I added some tape just to the bottom because the panel board was kind of sliding around, so just to hold it in place I taped it down. Yeah, and you can see here, definitely I feel a bigger brush would have worked a little bit better, and I do think I switched later in the video. But yeah, use whatever you have. No need to, it's not a big deal if you're using a smaller brush or a bigger one. And yeah, you can kind of see how I'm progressing from the blue to the pink to the yellow and just kind of blending that all together. The thing I love about oil paints is that they blend so beautifully and so seamlessly, so it's not much it's not a lot of effort to really blend it. They just kind of all blend together so perfectly. You can see here I switched to a little bit larger of a flat brush. A larger brush will help with the streaky look. If you kind of just pass your brush over the paints a few times, it will blend much, much better. Okay, and now I'm going in with the watercolor that I have created, and just using the edge of my flat brush to carefully and precisely paint that water horizon line. And then I'm filling it in, but also kind of leaving some gaps for some waves as well. So using my edge of the brush and just kind of filling in my watercolor, but then leaving some space as well. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit of a lighter color and start to add in some reflections. Okay, and here I'm going in with my sand color and blocking that in pretty close to the shoreline. And then I'm taking my lighter blue and then just kind of adding a little bit of a foam line, lightening that up where the water is going to meet the sand. And then in the negative space that we have, we're going to be adding a layer of water as well. Okay, and then here we're just kind of blending these like blues and tans together, and then we'll add a second water line. Yep, and then I'm just pulling in colors from the sky. And then adding a shadow underneath the water here using the darkest blue, and then we'll create a little shadow under the second water line that we created. I'm using white to create highlights on the on like the little like foam water that's coming up to shore, adding a little bit of detail. And then once we add the shadow, that will be the final step of this painting. I hope you enjoyed. I had so much fun creating it. Please let me know in the comments below what you want to see from me next, and I will see you next week for another painting. Thanks everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.